a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Daniel Craig. Daniel Wroughton Craig is an English actor. He trained at the National Youth Theatre and graduated from the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in 1991, before beginning his career on stage. His film debut was in the drama The Power of One. Other early appearances were in the historical war drama television series Sharpe's Eagle, Disney family film A Kid in King Arthur's Court, the serial drama Our Friends in the North, and the biographical film Elizabeth. Craig's appearances in the British television film Love is the Devil, Study for a Portrait of Francis Bacon, the indie war film The Trench, and the drama Some Voices attracted the film industry's attention. This led to roles in bigger productions such as the action film Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, the crime thriller Road to Perdition, the crime thriller Layer Cake, and the Steven Spielberg historical drama Munich. Craig achieved international fame when chosen as the sixth actor to play the role of Ian Fleming's British secret agent character James Bond in the film series, taking over from Pierce Brosnan in 2005. His debut film as Bond, Casino Royale, was released internationally in November 2006 and was highly acclaimed, earning him a BAFTA Award nomination, Casino Royale becoming the highest grossing in the series at the time. Quantum of Solace followed 2 years later. Craig's third Bond film, Skyfall, premiered in 2012 and is currently the highest-grossing film in the series and the 15th highest-grossing film of all time. It was also the highest-grossing film in the United Kingdom until 2015. Craig's fourth Bond film, Spectre, premiered in 2015. Since taking the role of Bond, he has continued to star in other films, including the fantasy film The Golden Compass, World War II film Defiance, science fiction western Cowboys and Aliens, the English-language adaptation of Stieg Larsson's mystery thriller The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and the heist film Logan Lucky. Craig also made a guest appearance as Bond in the opening ceremony of the London 2012 Olympic Games, alongside Queen Elizabeth II. Early life. Craig was born in Chester, Cheshire. His mother, Carol Olivia, was an art teacher, and his father, Timothy John Wroughton Craig, was the landlord of the pubs Ringer Bells in Frodsham, Cheshire and the Boot Inn in Tarporley, Cheshire. Having served as a midshipman in the Merchant Navy, Craig has distant French Huguenot and Welsh ancestry. Huguenot minister Daniel Chamier is among his ancestors, as is Sir William Burnaby, 1st Baronet. Craig's middle name, Wroughton, comes from his great-great-grandmother, Grace Matilda Wroughton. Raised on the Wirral Peninsula, Craig attended primary school in Frodsham and Hoylake, Merseyside. Later, he attended Hilbury High School in West Kirby, Merseyside, along with his older sister Lee. After failing his 11+, when his parents divorced, Craig and his sister lived with their mother, moving to Liverpool, Merseyside. Upon finishing his compulsory secondary school education at the age of 16, he briefly joined Calday Grange Grammar School as a sixth form student. He played rugby union for Hoylake RFC. Craig began acting in school plays at the age of 6, and was introduced to serious acting by attending the Everyman Theatre in nearby Liverpool city centre with his mother. At the age of 16, Craig was accepted into the National Youth Theatre, leaving school and moving to London, where he worked part-time in restaurants to finance his training. Later on, after multiple attempts at auditioning for drama schools, he was accepted at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama at the Barbican, where he graduated in 1991 after 3 years of study under Colin McCormack. Early roles and breakthrough. Craig appeared in his first screen role in 1992, playing an Afrikaner in The Power of One. He then appeared as Joe in the Royal National Theatre's production of Tony Kushner's Angels in America in November 1993. Also in 1993, Craig was featured in 2 episodes of the American television shows Zorro and the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and British shows Heartbeat, Between the Lines, Drop the Dead Donkey and Sharpe's Eagle. Craig was featured in the poorly received Disney film A Kid in King Arthur's Court. In 1996, Craig starred in the BBC serial drama Our Friends in the North as the troubled Geordie Peacock, appearing alongside Christopher Eccleston, Gina McKee and Mark Strong. Craig's part in the series is considered his breakthrough role. In the same year, Craig guest starred in an episode of the HBO horror anthology series Tales from the Crypt, and was featured in the BBC television film Saint X. Craig gave a lead performance in the Franco-German drama Obsession in 1997, about a love triangle between Craig's character and a couple. Craig appeared in 3 films in 1998, the independent drama Love and Rage, the biographical drama Elizabeth, in which he played Jesuit priest John Ballard, who was executed for being involved in an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth I of England in the Babington plot, and the BBC television film Love is the Devil, Study for a Portrait of Francis Bacon, in which Craig played small-time thief George Dyer, who becomes the lover and muse of painter Francis Bacon, who was portrayed by Derek Jacobi. The following year, Craig starred in a television drama called Shockers, The Visitor, and as Sergeant Telford Winter in the independent war film The Trench, which takes place in the confines of the trenches in the First World War. During the 48 hours leading up to the Battle of the Somme, Craig played a schizophrenic man who falls in with a woman after being discharged from psychiatric hospital in the drama Some Voices. Also in 2000, Craig co-starred alongside Toni Collette in the dark comedy Hotel Splendid, and was featured in I Dreamed of Africa, based on the life of Kuki Galman. Craig played a Tomb Raider, and the romantic interest to Angelina Jolie's character Lara Croft in Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, based on the video game series Tomb Raider. He later admitted to only accepting the role in the ill-received yet commercially successful film for the paycheck. In 2001, Craig also starred in the 4-part Channel 4 drama Sword of Honor, based on the trilogy of novels of the same. Craig appeared in the anthology film 10 Minutes Older, The Cello, starring in the segment Addicted to the Stars, directed by Michael Rutherford. His second release of 2002 was Sam Mendes' crime film Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks and Paul Newman as Irish mobster Conor Rooney, the son of the crime organization's boss, played by Newman. Craig portrayed German theoretical physicist Werner Heisenberg in the BBC television drama Copenhagen, which depicts Heisenberg's involvement in the German nuclear weapon project during World War II. On stage, Craig starred opposite Michael Gambon in the original production of Caryl Churchill's play A Number from September to November 2002, at the Royal Court Theatre. Craig received a London Evening Standard Theatre Award for Best Actor nomination for his role as a man who is cloned twice by his father. Craig starred as poet Dead Hughes opposite Gwyneth Paltrow as Sylvia Plath in the biographical film Sylvia, which depicts the romance between the two poets. In the same year, he appeared in The Mother as a man who engages in an affair with the much older mother of his lover and best friend. The crime thriller Layer Cake, directed by Matthew Vaughn, starred Craig as a London-based cocaine supplier known only as Forex. Los Angeles Times writer praised Craig's stunningly suave performance, while Roger Ebert thought he was fascinating in the film. Craig next starred as a man who becomes dangerously close with a stranger after witnessing a deadly accident together in Enduring Love. Craig appeared in 3 theatrical films in 2005, all of which were supporting roles. His first release of the year was the thriller The Jacket starring Adrian Brody and Keira Knightley. He then made a brief appearance in the Hungarian film Fateless as a United States Army sergeant who takes a liking to a teenage boy who survives life in concentration camps. Craig's third and final role of the year was a South African driver who is a part of an covert Israeli government assassination mission against 11 Palestinians allegedly involved in the Munich massacre at the 1972 Summer Olympics. The film, directed by Steven Spielberg, starred Eric Bana as a member of the operation, a Mossad agent. Also in 2005, Craig starred in the BBC television film Archangel based on Robert Harris' eponymous novel as an English academic who stumbles upon a notebook believed to have belonged to Joseph Stalin. James Bond, 2005-present. In 2005, Craig was contacted by Eon Productions to portray James Bond. He stated he was aware of the challenges of the Bond franchise, which he considered a big machine that makes a lot of money. He aimed at bringing more emotional depth to the character. Born in 1968, Craig is the first actor to portray James Bond to have been born after the Bond series started and after the death of Ian Fleming, the novel's writer. The casting choice caused significant controversy. Throughout the entire production period, internet campaigns expressed their dissatisfaction and threatened to boycott the film in protest. The 5-feet blonde Craig was not considered by some protesters to fit the tall, dark Bond portrayed by the previous Bond actors, to which viewers had apparently become accustomed. Although the choice of Craig was controversial, numerous actors publicly voiced their support, most notably 4 of the 5 actors who had previously portrayed Bond: Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton, Sean Connery, and Roger Moore called his casting a good decision. George Lazenby has since voiced his approval of Craig also. Clive Owen, who had been linked to the role, also spoke in defense of Craig. The first film, Casino Royale, premiered on the 14th of November 2006, and grossed a total of $594,239,066 worldwide, which made it the highest-grossing Bond film until the release of Skyfall. After the film was released, Craig's performance was highly acclaimed. As production of Casino Royale reached its conclusion, producers Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli announced that pre-production work had already begun on the 22nd Bond film. After several months of speculation as to the release date, Wilson and Broccoli officially announced on the 20th of July 2006 that the follow-up film, Quantum of Solace, was to be released on the 7th of November 2008, and that Craig would play Bond with an option for a third film. On the 25th of October 2007, MGM CEO Harry Sloan revealed, at the Forbes Me Too conference, that Craig had signed on to make 4 more Bond films, through to Bond 25. Craig lent his voice and likeness as James Bond for both the Wii game GoldenEye 007, an enhanced remake of the 1997 game for the Nintendo 64, and James Bond 007, Bloodstone, an original game for Xbox 360. PlayStation 3, Nintendo DS, and Microsoft Windows. In addition to Casino Royale, Craig also appeared 2 more films in 2006, the drama infamous as murderer Perry Edward Smith, and as the voice of the lead character in the English-language version of the French animated film Renaissance. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences extended a membership invitation to Craig in 2006. Craig starred opposite Nicole Kidman in the science fiction horror film The Invasion in 2007. The 4th film adaptation of the novel The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney. The film was met with a negative reception from critics, with Roger Ebert believing it to be the worst adaptation of Finney's novel. He portrayed Lord Asriel in The Golden Compass. The 2007 film adaptation of Philip Pullman's novel, Eva Green, who played Bond girl Vesper Lynd in Casino Royale, also starred in the film, although she did not appear in any scenes with Craig. In a stage version of the book, Asriel had previously been played by Timothy Dalton, one of Craig's predecessors in the role of James Bond. In March 2007, Craig made a cameo appearance as himself in a sketch with Catherine Tate, who appeared in the guise of her character Elaine Figus from The Catherine Tate Show. The sketch was made for the BBC Red Nose Day 2007 fundraising programme. In 2008, Craig, along with Quantum of Solace, starred in the drama Flashbacks of a Fool as a washed-up Hollywood actor who reflects upon his life and what might have been had he stayed in England after the death of his childhood best friend. In his final release of 2008, the war film Defiance, Craig starred as Tavir Bielski, the leader of the Bielski partisans, fighting in the forests of Belarus during World War II, saving 1,200 people. He co-starred with Hugh Jackman in a limited engagement of the drama A Steady Rain, on Broadway, which played from 10 September through the 6th of December 2009 at the Schonfeld Theatre. His performance received praise from the New York Times, with the reviewer writing, "Mr. Craig, a highly reputable stage actor in London before he became the screen's 6th James Bond, creates a more complete portrait as Joey." In August 2010, Craig was cast as crusading journalist Mikhail Blomkvist in David Fincher's 2011 adaptation of Stieg Larsson's novel The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. In 2011, he starred in Dream House, a psychological thriller directed by Jim Sheridan and co-starring Rachel Weisz, Naomi Watts, and Martin Chokash. It garnered mostly negative reviews and low box office results. Craig co-starred with Harrison Ford and Olivia Wilde in Cowboys and Aliens, an American science fiction western film, based on Scott Mitchell Rosenberg's 2006 graphic novel of the same name. Craig provided his voice to Steven Spielberg's animated film The Adventures of Tintin in 2011, playing the villainous pirate Ivan Ivanovich Sakharin, and his descendant Red Rackham in a dual role. The planned 19 April 2010 release of Craig's third Bond film was delayed, because of financial troubles with MGM. The film, titled Skyfall, was eventually released on the 23rd of October 2012, as part of the year-long celebration of the 50th anniversary of Dr. No. On the 8th of September 2012, Bond producers announced Craig had signed on for 2 future Bond films, meaning he would appear as 007 in at least 5 films, making him the second longest-serving Bond after Roger Moore, who starred in 7 films, and Sean Connery, who starred in 6 Ian Bond films and 1 non-Ian Bond film. Craig hosted the American late-night live television sketch comedy Saturday Night Live on the 6th of October 2012. He appeared in a sketch about forgotten Bond women, including Diane Keaton, Penny Marshall, Jodie Foster, Ellen DeGeneres, Lea Michele, and Molly Ringwald. He and his wife Weiss starred in a Broadway play titled Betrayal. It began performances in October 2013, and continued until January 2014. Despite mixed reviews, it grossed $17.5 million, becoming the second highest Broadway play of 2013. Craig's fourth Bond film, Spectre, began filming in December 2014 and was released on the 26th of October 2015. His 4 Bond films released by Sony has earned a combined gross of $3.5 billion globally, after adjusting for inflation. Prior to the inaugural Invictus Games held in London in September 2014, Craig, along with other entertainers and athletes, read the poem, Invictus, in a promotional video. He made an uncredited cameo appearance as a stormtrooper in the Star Wars sequel Star Wars: The Force Awakens in 2015. Craig appeared in a modern production of William Shakespeare's tragedy Othello at the off-Broadway New York Theatre Workshop throughout late 2016 and early 2017. The production starred David Oyelowo as the titular character and Craig as the main antagonist, Iago. Diane Snyder of the Daily Telegraph praised his chilling portrayal of Iago in the play. In 2017, Craig co-starred in Steven Soderbergh's comedy Logan Lucky, about 2 brothers who pull off a heist during a NASCAR race. Craig starred alongside Halle Berry in the drama King set during the 1992 Los Angeles riots. The film premiered in September 2017, but has not yet received distribution. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?